The ocean, in its vast indifference, holds more than just forgotten treasures. It cradles horrors that never truly sank. The dull hum of the research vessel, the Orion, was my constant companion, a rhythm to the monotonous expanse of the midnight Atlantic. At 3:47 a.m., while logging hydrophone data, a faint, impossible signature appeared on the sonar screen. A fleeting, vast shape deep below, too large for any known wreck. Then gone. A phantom blip I instinctively dismissed as equipment glitch or deep-sea anomaly. Days later, the glitch returned, a sustained, low-frequency resonance that vibrated through the hull, mimicking the groan of stressed timbers, even though the Orion was steel-hulled. I felt an inexplicable chill seep into the observation deck, despite the cabin's controlled climate, a cold that bit at the edges of my perception, too sharp to be a simple draft. Our vessel drifted into a desolate stretch, a notorious graveyard of the sea. The navigation system flickered erratically. The compass needle spun wildly for a moment, then settled back to north with a strange shudder. The sonar, however, was stubbornly consistent now, a massive, unmoving shadow miles below, too grand for any iceberg, too regular for a geological formation. Late that night, I saw it, a pinpoint of light, impossibly far off, shimmering through the heavy ocean mist that had suddenly descended. It was a single, ancient lantern glow, then another, then gone, swallowed by the fog as quickly as it appeared. The air around me grew frigid, tasting of old iron and wet decay, an unnatural cold that defied the Gulf Stream current. Back in my bunk, I couldn't shake the sensation of being adrift. The ship groaned, but beneath its familiar voice, I heard whispers. Not words, just a soft, sibilant rush, like sand sifting or waves drawing back from shore. It brought back the old terror of being a child, lost on a stormy beach, convinced the ocean itself was speaking my name. The sonar continued to paint its impossible picture. Not a single object, but a cluster, shifting and merging, like a phantom flotilla. I convinced myself it was some deep-sea current anomaly, a trick of the thermocline. But then, for a brief, horrifying second, the images resolved into skeletal shapes, masts, rigging, corroded hulls, before blurring back into amorphous blobs. I retreated to my cabin, the rhythmic thudding starting again, but now it sounded different. Not the familiar vibrations of the Orion at sea, but a heavy, dragging sound, like something vast and wet being pulled across raw metal directly below my feet. It resonated in my teeth, a copper tang filling my mouth. The hull shrieked, a sound so visceral, it felt torn from the ocean's very throat. I scrambled back to the sonar, my breath catching in my chest. The screen was a blizzard of signals now, not distinct vessels, but a solid, overwhelming mass consuming the entire display. A voice, then, from the ship's comms, which had been silent for days, a low, guttural whisper, not human, but undeniably resonant, filled the tiny cabin. "Welcome home." The words echoed, not just in the air, but inside my very skull, chilling me to the bone. I wasn't tracking them. I was joining them. The dragging sound ceased. The comms fell silent again. The sonar screen, which had depicted my own imminent demise, went blank, then flickered to an empty, endless blue. Just the Orion's faint hum. Some journeys don't end. They merely begin anew, beneath the unforgiving waves, where silence reigns and eternity watches.